Daniel, welcome. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us.
Anything for Sonicstate.
So that's a dangerous statement to make.
Yeah.
So Daniel, I'm curious about the Mute book that you've got in your hands. What do you get by looking at that in terms of a sense of history of the label? I mean, does it seem like 40 years to you at this point?
Well, I don't really, I didn't really want to. First of all, this was the fact the time of publishing the book has nothing to do with the 40 years. It just was coincidence. Right. It's a visual history rather than a written history, which is why we decided to collaborate with Thames and Hudson to do it. Because I've been approached over the years to do like a kind of biography written, and I just really wasn't into that. And when they came up with the idea of the visual history, it was something that really interested us. I mean, I don't really look back too much in the context of being 40 years. I'm not really into anniversaries at all. It just happens to be one. No, I mean, there are a lot of memories and things like, we've released quite a few records, and some of the images in here I kind of forgot about, to be honest, and it's great to see them again. And there's some images of the kind of, various various versions of the artwork before the final one. So yeah, it's nice, yeah.
There's the upcoming Stum 433 box set that covers a lot of the same ground. I mean, did you have a really big hand in curating that set?
Well, it wasn't really a curation job because we just asked everybody. So it wasn't like choosing. It was like everybody who was a past or present artist. We had just asked everybody, and nearly everybody. We got an overwhelming response, and bands that hadn't been even seen each other for 15 years got together just to do it, and I found that really moving and really great. And considering considering what it is, there's tons of different versions of Silence or 433. So it's really it makes a good listen.
So Daniel, tell me, how did you feel about seeing Martin Gore receive the Moog Innovation Award this year for his work?
I felt I want that synthesizer. No, I mean, listen, he deserves it, and I'm very proud to have been working with him for all those years, and to be a friend, and to still have a good laugh with him. But it's just completely well deserved, and I was very pleased for him that he received it.
We got to see you perform your modular set last night at the festival, and maybe you could tell us a little bit about where you are with your personal journey in terms of making your own electronic music, and how stimulating you find working in the Eurorack world.
I mean, I think kind of the drug that is Eurorack has really got me back into making music again. I mean, making music for myself, really, not for release, but and I'm just kind of dipping my toe into the live modular scene, which is like the scariest thing I've ever done, but it's actually really enjoyable. So that was like my third one in the last year or so, and of course it didn't go to plan, but that's the whole point. There's no point in actually making a plan. Just get a few ideas and then go with the flow. So yeah, I mean. I just find it very inspiring.
Has it triggered the sort of gear lust that a lot of people experience after the fact, where getting one module just leads to another and another? Or are you past that at this point?
I have a long-term addiction, and whether it was like in the early days, as soon as I could afford something, I would try and get it. Then years later, it was like I had to have every plug-in. And then all of a sudden that kind of really jarred with me, and then I got into Eurorack, but I'm fairly disciplined. I mean, fairly disciplined now. I mean, I've got too many modules, and I want to kind of, there comes a point when the system gets too big, I think. And so, my kind of mobile rig is really kind of, I'm really enjoying using that right now.
Is there anything that you're really excited about that you've acquired recently?
Well, I guess my two most recent additions have actually made a really big difference to how I do my live set. One is the 512 vector sequencer, and the other is the Befaco, how do you pronounce it, hex mix. And that's kind of liberated a lot of space and I was just filling my rack up with mixers because I always constantly wanted to mix and do sends and returns, and the Befaco does all that it's still fairly big, but it does it in a lot more convenient way. So those two things have made a real difference, yeah. And I just rediscovered an old module which I used quite heavily yesterday, which is a Pittsburgh generator, which was kind of hidden away somewhere. I kind of forgotten about it, and then I thought, oh, that might be good for that, and it's great, really good fun.
So just to wrap up then, Daniel, is it possible that at this point there are things that you haven't been able to do with Mute artistically that you'd like to maybe try and accomplish down the road at some point?
Well, there is a little project we've got, and depending on when this is going to be broadcast, I can tell you or not what it is.
Are they artistic things or creative things?
It's a creative, artistic thing. I mean, I don't think there's any. I mean, we're just constantly looking for great artists, original, exceptional artists, and it's kind of a holy grail, really. We just keep, we're very fortunate. We recently signed an amazing artist called Karine from LA, who's an electronic producer and vocalist. She's amazing. So it's kind of quite across the board. So that's really our goal, is to continue to find great artists,
Okay, Daniel, thanks a lot for spending time with us here at Moogfest.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Thanks for asking me.